Hi guys, this is Starcraft and welcome back to another Sister Starcraft English comments. We're going to be continuing on with the ASL S18 series. It's going to be a brand new contestants today. And we're going to be having people in the crowd cheering for, I think it's one of the first or second time appearance for one of the very, very strong players. His name is going to be Speed. And he's going to be facing up against Best. In the best of one potentially for the first game, and then we shall see what will happen next. This is going to be Group D of the round of 24, and we have 4 players. Tier 1 is going to be Best, very beautiful looking girls in the crowd, as usual, some nice guys, and we're going to be having the second player. The second tier is going to be Actioned. Third tier player is going to be C, and fourth tier player is going to be Speed. So I'm gonna just show you a very strange situation with the ELO scores, momentarily. But before that, let me just quickly remind you the first game are going to be played on the map Dominator. You are seeing the map stats right here. This is the photo, and we're going to be seeing the 2 players spawning at the top left corner of the screen. And at the 3 o'clock position, this is a 3-player map. I think this is the only 3-player map in the map pools, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we're gonna be having some of that action going on. Yeah. Anyways, before the game gets lit up, let me just quickly show you the ELO stats, and let me just explain what I mean by the situation is very interesting today. So here are the ELO scores of the best players today. I just picked up the ranking about a few hours before the game starts, so you can see we have a very nice distribution of races. For the first time, because usually it's gonna be just Soki up there and no one else, but this time around we do have Soki, Actioned, Jaedong, Killer. For Protoss is Snow, Bisu, and Stork. And then we're going to be also having some Terran players such as Lightspeed and JYJ, so very strong players overall. And here are the ELO scores of the players in this group, and you can see it's a very weird distribution because the first tier players Best is even worse than the 4th tier player Speed right now today. So this group is closer than it looks, with the exception of C. Of course, it's gonna all come down to, I guess, matchup win rates. So I'm gonna quickly show you the matchup win rates here. So here are the matchup win rates, and we'll talk about Best and Speed first. So in the last 30 days, Best has played 76 games against Terran. He's won about 55% of the game. Speed has played only 4 games against Protoss. He's played about 13 games, and he's won 54% of the game. So very even scores between these 2 players. So we shall see if that is going to be a harbinger of what's to come. We're going to be having Betcha scouting out very correctly for the first few minutes of the game. He's going to actually find his opponent right away, and whereas Speed is going to be going for a much later scout success here. He's going to arrive, and Speed is not going to be able to stop his enemy from going for an expansion. Oh my god, at the last minute they almost stopped the Nexus from going up, but he's not going to be able to do it. By the way, let me remind you that this map is a reverse ramp map, so if you expand early like what Best is doing, you have a slight risk in the beginning part of the game, if his enemy is going to be going for some kind of an early attack, and looks like Best has made the first mistake of the game. He's lost his scouting rope. He will need to, either get this Dragoon out very quickly to that area, and he's not yet upgrading range. Oh my god, this is going to be something interesting. Looks like Speed is going to expand though, so the game is going to possibly stabilize at some point. We're going to be having a Marine on the high ground that pushes the Dragoon back. We do have the SV trying to go for scout, and looks like Best's going to return with the rest of his units here, where the probe need to stop that SV from going down south. Actually, he's not able to stop it, but I guess that's fine. The Vulture's going to move across the map. We do have a second Dragoon, but Dragoon is busy chasing that SCVs, and looks like the Vulture's going to arrive like now. Oh my god, it's going to be able to hide behind the mineral line. I guess it's probably to run. One probe's going to be falling. One probe dies already. The other probe's going to be trying to chase. And 2 probes have died at the cost of a single Vulture. Maybe the scouting STV is still around. Let me remind you that. So that STV is going to have to return. So already I think Speed is having a good day here. His expansion is slightly later, so that is going to be something we need to take into account. Best's expansion is a lot faster, so maybe that will factor into the game plans here. Anyways, let me just quickly show you the map stats for today. So for Terran players on this map, they enjoy, I guess this is classical maps, and let me just grab you the ASL S18 maps. Here they are. Wait, hold on. Did I get the right figure here? Maybe not. Okay, I guess I don't have the figure for for right now, so I guess I'm just gonna have to update it at a different time in this series. Anyways, we're gonna be having a lot more vouchers coming out now from Speed, and looks like Best is gonna back up, and both players gonna be playing from there. By the way, every time that Best play, I would just show you this nice photo. I think most of you, if you are my true fans, you would know already. If you're my fans, maybe you have heard about or maybe seen this picture once or twice in your life. This is going to be a picture between me and Best taken a long time ago, together with some other faces very familiar in the broodwar community here. So I'm very happy to still be casting this game and be in the scene. I guess I'm never really in the scene, guys. Don't make me wrong. I'm not like Best bodyguard or something like that, or someone like that. I just happen to be at the right place in the right time. Basically, that's what happened. Anyways, I'm just gonna also take this chance to thank some of my supporters in the last 30 days for your support. And first of all, I'm gonna thank Marcin from Poland. By the way, this is not his face. Don't be alarmed. I would never put your face on here. This face is auto-generated by AI, but I kind of try something different. And I guess you're gonna be having a nice day here, Marcin. I hope that you are enjoying your sports or whatever over the weekends. I guess the weekend is over now. We're going to be starting new week. So I thank a lot for your support, and I hope that all of the good things come to you in the future. And the second person I want to thank, as usual, it is going to be this guy here, this bad mother F. I'm just kidding. I don't want to swear. It's going to be Matt from the USA, always keeping us safe and sound from terrorist attacks. So thanks a lot, Matt. And I hope that, your favorite player win. Basically, let's go. Anyways, back to this game now. We will have what going on. Looks like it's going to be a Dark Templar drop here coming from Best. He's going to actually not be scouted for the timing because Vulture is actually not laying mines on this right side of the map. But we do have some mines inside of Speed's base. We do have some turrets around. So I guess this drop will not be able to do that much damage. But what it gives Best is that the early to go for very fast arbiters and very safe as well. There's perfectly circle-centric circles of mines. He's gonna drop a single Dark Templar. He's gonna try to look for some openings. There are gonna be no opening here. He's gonna be able to actually destroy a single supply depot. He's watching carefully for the mine explosion. Looks like the mine is still very far out. No, the mine is not far out, and Best is damaged. Both of his Dark Templar. There's gonna be some scanners going up maybe, but for the time being, we're gonna be having some turrets first. So that's gonna be fine. The supply depot before we destroy. Possibly the SVNO is gonna try to move across the map, and there are some other openings. There's a lot of turrets around, though. He'd actually find some kind of openings, and he's gonna try to actually destroy this add-on. That might be nice because it will slow down the flow of tanks. Looks like SVs are getting furious there, trying to frantically repair it. All of this is well and good, but behind this, we need to check what is Best going for in terms of tech and what is Speed going to do about it. I'm quite sure the Stargate has completed now. All right, looks like we're going to be having a turret getting sniped here. That turret gets sniped, and looks like the scanners is not going up anytime soon. That factory might get forced to get floated. Do we have even Goliath? I don't think we can even build Goliaths, right? I think you need Arrow to build Goliath. Am I correct or not? I have not played Stream Gates for a long time, but it looks like a run by the Vultures, and there are going to be a lot of openings here. The probes need to run. We're going to be having a nice probe drill, though. He will take out one single Vulture. The second Vulture is damaged as well. Looks like both Vulture gets... No, looks like the Vultures is still alive. Only one Vulture is remaining in the Best and in the pack, and looks like Best going to have to pay super attention here. Looks like the battle is going to be not yet over. The Arbiters, you see the Dark Templar is going to try to find some openings, but there are no openings, so this Shadow is going to be hiding in the corner. I think the Goliath should be coming out momentarily. Now, supply-wise, after that crazy exchanges, Best is 81 and Speed is 59. The Shadow will leave with the Dark Templar, so it's done enough damage, and looks like Speed is forced to rebuild a lot of his infrastructure. That's going to be very nice here. I think even a factory was destroyed, right? So that was crazy attacks, I think, by Best. We're going to be having a Shadow going and destroying the turrets here. Very good for Best to find this, and Arbiter is going to be coming out, so Best, I think, is on the way to victory. He's going to be going for an expansion as well. Of course, Protoss is very vulnerable at this time in the game here because... we don't have arbiters yet, and the army is going to be very slow. We do have one of the Dark Templar getting dropped here. The other Dark Templar is going to be just by some time. It looks like he's going to try to drop once again once the scan clears out, and he does wait for the scanner to go back up here. And it looks like we do have a Goliath. That Dark Templar is dead, so both Dark Templar is gone, and this Nexus is going to be going up. So Speed says, you know what, I don't care, take your base. I will take mine, and I will try to match it, and if I can have the same numbers of base as well as you, and stronger upgrades, I will win in the late game, and that's what he's hoping to do. He looks like Best is just going to back up and go for his own 4th base. So both players going to be gearing up for the mid to late game scenarios here. That's going to be very nice. By the way, if you're a fan of Best, please check out that ladder net game that he's played between, against JYJ. Just go to my LadderNet series, or just go to my YouTube homepage and check out, scroll down to see the LadderNet series. You're going to be seeing that game is insane. Protoss is Terran. It's freaking nice. So they're going to be having Best preparing for the, for ASL in that game. And let's hope for some more games. Of course, both of these are very good. Actually, I'm kind of torn between who I want to advance in this group, because Action is one of the few Zergs remain, so he actually deserves a spot, so we have a more kind of variety of players. Speed is just very good. I mean, Speed is the best ELO ranked player today, and he's consistently in the top 10. You know, so if he gets eliminated, I will be sad as well. C, I don't care so much about, so I guess, you know, with the, you know, I mean, he's a famous comedian, right? So that's fine. But beside that, his Starcraft skill is actually not notable. So I wouldn't mind if he's actually not you know, qualifying for any of the next rounds. But don't count it out because he's very, very strong as well. Anyways, looks like we're going to be having some engagements from both the players. We're going to be having observers getting sniped here. So we are at the 10-minute, almost 11th minute mark of the game. Speed is behind by about 25 supply. The first arbiter, I think, is out. Yeah, he's going to be waiting here, and he's actually not hiding that arbiter. He's leaving it in plain sight for the scanner to actually discover, and I actually don't like that. If you're going to be going for fast recall, you need to hide your arbiter, and the best place to hide it is at the 12th option, because you can actually stop drops, you know, by providing a bit more vision, and also hide it from the scanner side. It looks like we're going to be having a drop coming out from Speed now. The arbiter need to be involved in the position. Very, very lucky for Best to actually evacuate some of the probes in the expansion towards the 4th base already, so that base is kind of light in probe saturation, but this drop will still do some damage. He's gonna try to go in here, single vulture in the expansion, and the probe is gonna be able to actually corner it, so that's gonna be not a big deal here. But the drop in the main is gonna be kind of interesting here. We're gonna be having a lot of drops. At least the Outer need to get involved so that he can actually shield the vulture from the shield the probe from the vision of the vultures. Anyways, this is a nice triple drop, a single drop shift with only 3 units. Actually, he was able to attack 3 different locations, so that was good. The next drop against the expansion will completely destroy that, you know, that probe line. So Best need to kind of worry about that. We are at the 12-minute mark of the game, and we'll be having Best coming up to 150 supply. Best is very good with his mid-game pushes with Zelle with speed, guys. So Terran's got to be super careful. Looks like the probe saturation is not so good for Best at the expansion, but he's got his 4th base coming, his 5th base coming up now. He's after to transfer probes to that area, so both the players are kind of matching in terms of you know, economy here. Looks like in terms of upgrades, Terran is up with +1 weapons upgrade. Protoss, I don't think have any upgrades yet, but they have, oh my god, just as I say that, Best destroy he wrecked his own mineral line there at the expansion. That is fine, but the only problem for Best is that he doesn't have his 3 probes on gas. And actually, you know, I need to dedicate 3 probes on gas like ASAP. He's gonna try to do that. We're gonna be having a recall. What do we have inside of the base? There's nothing. He's waiting, and there are no mines here. There are no mines. Is he gonna try to recall right away or wait for an engagement? He's gonna try to check with the observer. He's trying to go in here before the observer. Actually, he's gonna find a nice opening. He will not actually hit any mines. There are no tanks in the back. He can destroy some supply depot and turrets, and that means no more vision of these Dragoons, and that's going to drive the Terran forces back. But this is going to be providing a very, very nice siege position for Speed. He can actually just need to siege right behind the mineral line here. And Dragoon's gonna try to snipe one of the tank. One tank will go down for sure, and more Dragoons attacking. The other tank's gonna get destroyed, and this upgrade will need to fall back. I think one more tank will fall. Dragoons need to back up here. He's gonna try to attack. If he actually can take out both of these turrets, he's gonna have a nice vision. But at the last minute, it looks like Speed is gonna push his enemy back. He's gonna try to destroy as many supply depots as possible and block Speed in terms of supply. Indeed, we're gonna be having one more supply depot getting destroyed, but we're gonna be having tanks in the back. And Best need to actually waste his force now. Need to charge out to the battles and maybe go for that, you know, hide that arbiter somewhere else, because that arbiter is almost depleted in terms of health. At the last minute, it looks like all the Dragoons will fall now, and this drop was successful. I think it was nice. It was nice because we do have a lot of minefields getting destroyed, a lot of turrets, and a lot of supply depots getting destroyed. We're going to be having vultures trying to run by here and go towards the what now? 9 o'clock. It looks like Best is able to clear it. Best is now ahead by about 40 supplies, so that drop was nice. It actually can go for another drop right now with the arbiter. I mean, not a drop, a recall. I mean, that's going to be fine because that will stop the Terran player from going up with mines and turrets and supply depots. So if you've dropped one successfully, it's going to be good to actually go for another drop. Another recall, but he's gonna try to recall against the 4 o'clock station. I don't know if it's a good idea. It might be okay, but there are a couple of you know, mine. He's gonna try to go right in. The Goliath's actually paying attention, and he's gonna try to fall back here. Looks like the SC is gonna be running away, and that's gonna be fine. A lot of tanks reinforcing and science vessel prop at just the right moment to actually you know help support with the tanks here. Anyways, looks like there are no more openings now for Best to exploit. He need to go for a frontal attack. He's gonna try to do that because looks like Speed is strained. He's, his force is kind of stretched out on several fronts. He's forced to put some of the, units at in his main base. He's forced to have some units at the third base. So he actually doesn't have much units to actually defend this potential fourth here. The jungles are moving on high ground, but it looks like Best is not attacking nice. He's gonna be attacking with a lot of forces. We need to have a nice stasis. He's looking for some kind of openings. He's got enough energy to go for the stasis. I'm trying to go. We have a shot with something inside. I'm not so sure exactly what is that. Zealot bombing maybe. Yeah, it is going to be Zealot bombing. This is a very, very late Zealot bombing, but still able to get mixed in with the groups. And it looks like now it's going to be Best on the high ground. Any kind of reinforcement from either side will be on the low ground. So Best has got a nice position. He's going to destroy this command center, this building. He's going to have to back up because he doesn't have enough forces. And we have tanks sieging on the low ground that can attack those Zealots. So that's going to be nice. The expansion, the potential sixth base for Best has been cancelled, has been denied. So that was a good attack. And looks like Best has kind of fallen down in terms of, economy here. He's got around 164 supply, the same as Speed. Of course, Terran is always going to be slightly advantage if he's got more supply. We're going to need to have these probes attacking nicely here. And it looks like the probes actually not able to do the kind of damage he want to do against the Vulture. The Vulture nets a couple of kills, a couple more kills. And it looks like now Best need to prioritize the extractor. Need to make sure that there's enough probes on the on the various locations. He's going to try to go for another recall, but he needs to actually prioritize the probe first. I think he got to figure out at that base attack. Looks like Best going to back up. He's got the upgrades for the energy. As you can see, each arbiter can have up to 3 spells here. What is it? 2 stasis, right? No, excuse me, a maximum of 2 spells, 1 stasis and 1 recall. Looks like Chan's got +2 weapons and +1 armor, and Protoss has got only +1 weapons and +1 armor. We're going to be having Zelle just going to be going to clear the mines here. Best has got a nice map control. He's almost maxed out, but I think Speed is actually in a very comfortable position. He's going to expand. Actually, the only problem for Speed is that he's not yet expanded to his 4th base. If he has actually his 4th base secured right now, he'll be in a much more comfortable position than he is now. But these were just going around looking for some openings, but there are way too many cannons. And Probe's gonna try to move in here and try to do some damage, and Bush is gonna try to run towards some other side as well. Looks like we're gonna be having Best get ready to take another base. We're gonna be having a tank dropping somewhere. This is what we're gonna be having a tank here. This tank are forced to unload at a premature destination, and he's gonna try to go towards the other side. But there are some cannons already, so it looks like Protoss force is gonna try to move to that area to actually to stop it. So there's no opening at all for Speed. Looks like we're gonna be having a crazy recall somewhere because these forces are waiting in line, waiting to get picked up. Looks like for the time being, Best is maxed out, but he's not decided what to do. Both the players are going to be gearing for the next battles here. Looks like Speed doesn't want to go too far from his main, because if he goes too far, the risk of recall is too great. He's going to just go for an expansion. And we do have a hidden base coming down for Best, and he's going to be able to see it. I think he's sending some forces on the side. And this is double expanding from Speed. He's going to move towards the right side. Does Best have high temperatures? At this point in time, he needs to actually have high temperatures observers actually to see these forces. It looks like Best's gonna move in just as the Terran forces moving out. We're having a nice stasis. Oh my god, it's gonna be an insane stasis. Looks like tanks are moving back, and looks like the armors are gonna try to cast double stasis. I think 1 stasis down, 2 stasis down. I think this is gonna be just completely clutch winning here from Best. He would cast 1 more stasis somewhere, and he will back up as soon as that command center gets destroyed. It's gonna be fine. But we do have some Vulture run by, and the tank doctor that clears out a lot of forces. And this attack, this frontal attack, we need to stop now. The cannon has fallen. Best is gonna try to go in here, and very, very good for Speed to actually not be so far behind in terms of economy and just completely disrupt Best's situation. And we're going to be having that base, and Best is aware of the new base at the the 530 position. He saw it with one of his observers. Going to try to send the rest of his soldiers. We're going to be having some tanks here. The tanks going to try to siege, but there are no openings there because there's going to be some cannons and actually no probes, so that's going to be a problem. So we're going to be having some forces moving across, and Best need to kind of split his attention. Going to try to send some Zelle out. This base is forced to get lifted, so I guess no double expansion at all for Speed. But we do have this, these cannons getting comfortable with the cannons here, forcing a cancellation on 2 cannons already. We're going to be having some Vultures getting ready to snipe any kind of probes that get sent to this base, so that's going to be a problem. 4 bases for Speed already, and Best is still on 6. He's always almost about to get the advantage, but at the last minute, Speed just comes back even. He just comes back even. By the way, remember that there's still another possibility to expand towards the 1 o'clock position. That base, Best has got some cannons set up on it, but it's not yet expanded. By the way, he's going to try to send a single probe out now. He's going to be super careful. There's some Vultures still hanging out around here and waiting to actually catch any kind of probe transfer. But yeah, for the time, it looks like Best is not going to transfer any probes. He's going to try to clear the area in the middle. He's almost maxed out, but his probe saturation is not good. Right? We're going to be having some high high templates now for the first time. I mean, usually Best is the guy that makes a lot of high templates, but he's not made a lot of high templates this time around. Okay, that is going to be a money EMP, guys, catching a lot of units, as well as 2 arbiters. Anyways, probes getting caught in action in the middle map, and this is really, really unfortunate. And Speed is just so smart. He is just so smart. And even a mine explosion. We're going to be having more vultures coming to actually trap some of these probes, and we're going to be having only 2 recruits not able to intercept, and Best needs to send his entire fleet out towards the bottom left side to save it. Speed is maxed out, guys. He's maxed out, and his upgrades are looking very scary. A lot of vultures are going to try to come in. We do have some cannons going to block this area. I mean, these vultures cannot do much because, you know, the rest of Best's force is going to stand here. He might snipe every single probe and go towards the bottom side, and that's it. At this moment, Best will not worry so much about that base because there's nothing there. He's going to be looking forward to another recall. He's going to try to find another opening. Best can actually expand again, but he's got very poor probe saturation. Very poor probe saturation. We do have a nice recall, and high templar high templar in the back is actually not being used. And actually spread out his forces, man. Spread out your forces. Are you kidding me? That's going to be a very nice EMP. He's going to spread out now. We're going to be having some Zealot, and high templar is going to try to cast some storm against the tank. He will cast a good storm against the SV. He will cast one more storm somewhere. No, it's not yet available to cast a storm, but we do have some nice Mind Dragon. Looks like Speed says, you know what, you go for my base, I will go for yours, but there's gonna be another recall, another crazy recall. We might have a slight base trade situation because Best doesn't have enough forces to actually take care of his expansion. We do have 2 arbiters getting stasis here in Archon, just buying some time, and probably need to get sent towards the other bases now. It looks like Protoss gonna back inside the main and try to just abandon his expansion, but they will be having scanners getting destroyed here. So I guess Speed is gonna be on 3 bases, but he would not have any kind of production facility. We're gonna be having very nice storms here, and Zella's getting mixed in with the tanks, means that the no more tanks gonna be able to come out here. We're gonna be having good storms again, a lot of forces and clearing a lot of minefields here. We're gonna be having slight base rate. Speed is supply block. He cannot make any forces. We're gonna be having a nice storm against the tank, but we do have a lot of nice D-Matrix there. One tank's gonna get sniped, but I think this is gonna be the end of the attack from Best. He's gonna try to do what? He's gonna try to go for the contact with the rest of the forces. Gonna try to attack against the in 3 o'clock position. There's a lot of minefield and a couple of tanks, so that's gonna be fine. So I think this base cannot get destroyed. Anyways, the Stargate getting destroyed is going to be a slight problem now for Best. Also, these 3 tanks are going to try to amass. We're going to be having high templars coming from Logan. He actually clear the mine with a single Zealot. Is going to try to come out and clear the Zealot, and clear the mines here. He's going to try to attack with double arbiters, and the science vessel is going to be trying to win in back. It's going to be some nice EMP. There's going to be enough, and there's going to be a beautiful storm against the SV. He's going to try to storm more. Storm against the tank. He stormed more against the tank, and all of the tanks going to destroy. It's going to morph into Archons now, and by time, and more SVs getting destroyed. So I guess Best is actually crippling the economy of Speed, but Speed still is gonna try to take out Best expansion as Best man's base was gonna be losing every single thing. No more places actually build stuff here, and Zella's gonna cheat attack now. Tanks are not cheating. Tanks gonna be slightly cheating with Zella did attack, and it's gonna be very nice around. But there's gonna be a lot of D-Matrix. The tanks are falling back nicely. Who's gonna be the win here? It looks like the Druko's actually not targeting the right players, the right units. The tanks are being microed heavily here. At last, it looks like who wins. I think the Speed has won. Some Zella's getting mixed in, and tanks are actually not sieging, which is good. Looks like reinforcement from Best gonna try to fall back. The number of tanks are falling fast. A lot of tanks are getting destroyed. Only 6 tanks remaining, but they're so damaged, so bruised. More tanks getting attacked, I think. And the last we're going to be having Templars moving, and Best is actually secure from the other side of the map with more reinforcement. He doesn't have places to make gateway. He can just make some more random forces, and probes need to run for their lives. These tanks are going to try to shell from this other side. We're going to be having some arbiters recalling, but more forces going to be waiting in the back here. Tanks are sieging, but he can actually just send Zealot one at a time. That's going to be just fine. Yeah, we're going to be having a single Archon getting mixed in, and no scanning in this group, and those 2 arbiters going to actually get in. The Archon's going to try to attack. The Nexus is getting focused upon, but one tank's going to be falling. The Nexus is very close to dying, though. We're going to be having vultures coming from the other side of the map, and the tank will fall. The Nexus is safe at the last minute, and looks like these tanks are they going to be able to get 7 on? Looks like the science vessel is actually paying a lot of attention to those areas. And do we have another recall? We're going to be having a floating command center. The game is too close to call. I think Best can save his base. He doesn't have enough money. He doesn't have enough money, guys. He's actually mining very few minute patches. Going to be having a nice EMP against those forces, and these tanks are still buying a lot of time. Actually, he can actually send arbiters out and use arbiters as weapons to attack against the tank. He actually doesn't need to go for any kind of stasis. MP is going to try to attack the tank one by one. Yeah, he comes in from the other side of the map, and we're going to be having no Goliath. The tanks attacking. High Templar is going to need to morph into Archon now. It's going to be better than using them this way, but he's going to actually go and clear the rest of the forces here. Looks like the tank's going to try to focus attention on the High Templars. We're going to be having vultures looking for some kind of run by. Speed is going to be ahead by about 40 supply. Best has got a lot of probes around the various area, but tank's going to try to attack against this other base. And this base has been not really mining for the longest time possible. Anyways, looks like he's going to need to actually clear the middle. He actually is not making a lot of observers, so this area in the middle is actually very vulnerable for for Best. He's gonna get a nice EMP there, but he still have 2 stasis possible. He need to spread out his arbiters. He will spread them out. He's gonna try to go for that EMP against the tank. It looks like the vulture's gonna try to go in and seal the deal here. There are only 2 cannons remaining. He's gonna need to actually stasis the vulture as well. He's gonna have a nice offensive recall, which is gonna be great. He's gonna have a nice mine explosion on the dragoons as well as the Zelle. This recall was okay. He was able to save his base, but behind his speed has been. Remember that speed is still mining. Oh my god, that Nexus is very, very close to dying. The Nexus will fall. The Nexus is so close to dying. The Nexus dies. And this tank, is it going to get destroyed or not? Looks like at the last minute, the tank's going to try to shell some of the other units. So that's going to be crazy. Speed is going to be still mining from his new base. He's made a new command center, by the way, guys. He's made a base at the 5-30%, and Best is very, very close. I think losing this game now. We actually cannot do anything about it. He's going to destroy 1 tank now. He's going to be waiting for it inside of Best's base. What is he making? He's got enough money just to make only Zelle, and we might have another recall in the main at some point. And of course, Speed has got his idea, his eyes and ears on it. We're gonna be having a nice recall. It's gonna force cancellation. No, he's gonna just attack here with his 2 arbiters. Of course, there's a lot of forces remaining for Speed, and he's gonna try to save that base. Looks like Best is forced to clear mines manually by dragoons and observer. It's going to be interesting. We're going to be having Zelle gearing up for a nice recall here. Best has got enough money for enough energy for recall. I don't know. I don't see it. This is going to be a nice EMP. Of course, this is a fake arbiters. Those arbiters don't have any energy. Looks like a big attack in the middle. By Speed, he says, you know what? I'm going to clear out your bottom left side of the map. And by doing that, I'm gonna try to save my other base as well, and this is gonna be distance mining for Best. I think Best is very, very close to losing here, unless he actually do some nice crazy recall. He's waiting for some kind of moment. Probes actually are getting caught in the action. Arbiters need to do something. We're gonna be having a nice storm. That isn't such a bad storm. There's some Goliaths in the back. They need to take care of the Goliaths. This other recall is waiting in the back, and he's gonna try to wait to do what looks like 1 cannon's fallen. These arbiters actually need to hide. He's gonna try to go from the recall. This is gonna be a nice recall, but just a couple of Zelle. Not enough forces actually do this. Best is falling down the supply, and I think the end is near. There's no way Best can win here. What a nice crazy game from Speed. I'm gonna put this game in the list of best game for this year. So if you like this game, please go ahead and buy me a coffee. The link to that is gonna be in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.